Well, we've got a bit of a problem with the alternator on this BMW 420D. It's not charging and it's located there, so we're going to see what is required to replace it. So we're in the boot, and the first thing to do is to grasp this little liner here and pull it out, and then that will reveal the battery, of which we need to isolate, ideally, the positive terminal. So we're going to remove this battery. It's just a 10mm socket there, and hopefully we should be able to slacken this terminal off. Be very careful working on the positive. If you touch it to earth, it's going to short. I might actually put a piece of card in between that, as it seems to be doing an excellent job of reconnecting itself. Then we'll just slot that in. It just prevents it making contact. Well, we're going to make a start by removing this, just to give us a bit of work room, because we're going to have to disturb the serpentine belt. So that just comes up like so. There's another one here, and then we'll just undo that large clip there for the intake. So there's another one there to do, and that should just pop off. Yeah, so I've got that out, and then we'll just slide that tang up and wiggle this one off. And there we have it, liberated from the engine bay. So we've got a couple of these to liberate. This one's just come from there. So what I've found is, get a screwdriver and just gently lever the top out, and then the whole clip comes out as one. Okay, so we're going to remove that, slacken that off from underneath. That'll just give us a bit more room. Removed 1, 2, I've got 4 there, 3, and there's one right under there, what were a bit of a mare to get out. And just undo this 10mm bolt, that seems to be holding this covering. And could be something else yet. Anyway, if I can get it out of the way, that'll do. So we've got a tensioner for the serpentine belt. That's 16mm socket, and then we can apply a bit of leverage on it and hopefully get a pin in just there. You can see there's a hole there. I'll have to lower the camera down a bit so you can see where to put the pin. You can see there. We'll just put an Allen key in there for the minute. Well, I've got serpentine belt slack now, so we should be able to just remove it. And before I do that, I'm going to observe, possibly take a picture of how it goes. But the general rule of thumb is smooth belts, that's the back of the belt, and the pulley's grooved, so you want the groove side in, and you should be able to work things out if you get confused and muddled up. There's actually a lot of slack on it, but it just pulls off like so. And then it's an idea to have a new one, as we're going to be replacing this belt, as it's in well, worn condition, as this one's a bit crusty, so I'm quite glad we're replacing it. So we've got the E12 bit, and we're just going to get this first bolt out for the alternator. So the next bolt is connected to this pulley here, it's just behind it. So I'm going to take this cap off. Then it looks like a regular Torx once you get the cap removed. And then you'll need a T25 Torx to remove this pulley. And with the pulley removed, it looks like to be a regular nut there. So we're on the 16mm nut here, just backing it out. And the alternator's getting looser now. That bolt just backs out. It's incredibly long, that one. And a 14mm bolt to undo the terminals. That's why we disconnected the battery. So it looks like we can just lift this out, but it's resisting, so it's, there's a bit of a friction hold. So I'll try and wiggle it and see if it comes. So what I've done, got in here and I put some WD-40 on the fixings just to give us a hand, and I've now got it free, so I'm just going to try and Tetris it out somehow. So this connector were a little bit stubborn, so what we did, we squirted it with WD-40, lift that grey tab up, and then we patiently wiggled it off like so. Got a bit of a problem because there's not enough room to wiggle it out, so what I'm thinking about doing, there's two fixings there, one there, and there's one, it's a little bit dark but it is in there, and hopefully we can move the ECU up a little just to wiggle the alternator out and the replacement back in. So we've now got the ECU loose, that just lifts up there, so there should be ample room to wiggle the alternator out. So we managed to Tetris this one out and we'll wrestle the new one in. So in case you're wondering, this is the hole it came from, and it straddles this bracket either side. So in order to fit it, as I've just found out, we need to move this nut back ever so slightly just to give us a bit of wiggle room. So we'll give it a squirt of penetrating fluid. Now this is the old alternator. We've successfully done that. I did it just by tapping it with a hammer, and we even put it in the vise and give it a little nip. So either method will do. We even tried a G-clamp with a socket. So whichever method you use is totally up to you. But one thing I would do is get some lubrication on it before you start doing anything. Now this is what we've done with the second. We've got quite a large socket what just goes over there, and we've used the vise just to push that nut back. So I've got a much larger gap there versus the one I did, the old one, with some hammer taps and G-clamp. Very difficult with a G-clamp. A vise would be much better if you've got access to one. So we'll get this new belt on, hopefully with ease. And that's the replacement Serpentine belt fitted. Now, we did actually just manage to squeeze it on, and it was just riding up that pulley slightly, but it was difficult. If you get it aligned with every grooved pulley, you should have a lot less trouble. So there's that one, that one, that one, and that one to check. And then the others are smooth, so it just slides over. And that's everything put back together, so we'll go connect the battery back up and hope for the best. Well, if we've done a decent job here, we should have no charge warning light. And no warnings. Happy days. Many thanks for watching, and why not subscribe to learn of more low-cost repair solutions.